The Hadley Institute for the Blind and Visually Impaired presents iFocus, tips on using the vision accessibility features in iOS. In today's installment, we'll look at iPhone 10 VoiceOver Gestures. Hello, my name is Douglas Walker. Today, we will be checking out our new iPhone 10 VoiceOver Gestures. Now, if we don't already know, our iPhone 10 is our first iPhone that no longer has our home button. So this has really changed the way that we'll interact with our device. The fact that we no longer have a home button changes the way that we'll launch Siri. It also changes the way that we'll access our accessibility shortcuts, as well as how we will close any of our open apps. We've also been giving you VoiceOver Gestures for how we'll activate our control center, our notification center, as well as our app switcher. Now, this might seem like a lot of changes, and it is. However, our new VoiceOver Gestures really are quite intuitive, and it really doesn't take that long to forget that we ever had a home button. All right, how about we jump right in? Okay, here we have our iPhone 10, and of course, we have no home button, so how do we launch Siri? Well, we could just say, "Hey Siri," right? However, we could also just hold down our side button. And our side button, of course, is our long button here on the right-hand side of our iPhone. So let's do it. We'll just hold down our side button and launch Siri. What's the weather today?
It's currently cloudy and 46 degrees in Winnetka. Today's high will be 50 degrees, and the low will be 35.
Great, and it is as easy as that. Now, in the past, we would triple tap our home button to access our accessibility shortcuts. Well, we've probably already guessed that we'll now just press or tap our side button 3 times. So let's do it. We'll just press our side button 3 times.
Alert, accessibility shortcuts.
All right, our accessibility shortcuts are now visible, and that is pretty great. Okay, we'll just close our accessibility shortcuts by just touching our cancel button here, down here to the bottom of our screen. So we'll just touch.
Cancel button.
And we'll just single finger double tap. All right, our accessibility shortcuts have closed. However, our Siri screen is still active or visible here on our screen. And this brings up our first new VoiceOver gesture. Now, we used to tap our home button to dismiss any dialog box or to close any of our running apps. Well, now we'll just slide or kind of drag our finger up from the very bottom edge of our iPhone screen until we feel a single vibration. We'll just then simply lift our finger and our app will close. Or in this case, our Siri screen will close. Now, as we mentioned, we'll need to begin dragging from the very bottom edge of our screen. Otherwise, our iPhone will just assume that we're performing a standard flick up. Now, it's also good to know that we'll also be given an audio cue along with our vibrations. So how about we just slide or drag our finger up our screen, and we'll just close our Siri screen here. So we'll just slide our finger up.
Notes. Double tap to open.
Great, our Siri screen has closed, and we've been placed right back on our desktop. All right, our next gesture is our app switcher gesture, and we'll use the exact same method that we used for closing an app. We'll just slide our finger up from the very bottom edge, of course, until we feel our second vibration, and then we'll just lift our finger, and it's as easy as that. So let's give it a try. We'll just drag our finger up our screen until, remember, we feel our second vibration, and so we'll just drag.
App switcher settings active. Swipe up with 3 fingers to close the app.
All right, our app switcher has launched, and we could just simply flick through it as we normally would, and that's pretty great. However, let's say that we just want to close our app switcher. Well, that is super easy as well because we'll just use our new Close App gesture. So we just drag up from the bottom edge until we feel our single vibration again. And so we'll just drag up.
Notes. Double tap to open.
Okay, our app switcher has closed, and hey, how cool is that? All right, we only have 2 more new gestures. We've been given our new Control Center gesture, and we've also been given a new gesture for accessing our Notification Center. Now, both of these new gestures are very similar to our other 2 new gestures, only instead of sliding our finger up from the bottom edge of our screen, we'll just slide our finger down from the very top edge of our screen. And how cool is that? So we'll just launch our Control Center. Now we'll just drag our finger down our screen, remember from the very top edge of our screen, and then we just simply lift our finger after we feel our first vibration. Okay, so we'll just drag down.
Airplane mode, switched button, off. Double tap to toggle setting.
Great, our Control Center has launched. And of course, we could just simply right-flick through our Control Center if we like. Okay, we've probably already guessed that we'll use our new Close App gesture to close our Control Center. So let's do it. We will just drag up from the bottom edge here. And remember, we'll feel that vibration. So we'll just drag up our screen.
Notes. Double tap to open.
All right, our Control Center has closed, and we're right back on our desktop. Okay, our last new VoiceOver gesture will launch our Notification Center. We'll just drag our finger down, of course, from the very top edge of our screen until we feel our second vibration. And then we'll just lift our finger. Okay, so let's launch our Notification Center. And so we'll just drag.
Notifications, 11:49 a.m.
Yeah, our Notification Center is now visible, and we could just simply right-flick through all of our notifications, and there you go. Okay, and we should be getting the hang of things by now, so we'll simply just use our Close App gesture to close our Notification Center here. So we'll just drag up from the bottom, and we'll just drag up.
Notes. Double tap to open.
And it is as easy as that. Our Notification Center has closed, and we've been placed right back on our desktop. You know, I was a bit nervous when I heard that Apple was getting rid of our home button. However, after using our new gestures for a while now, I tell you, I'm really not missing our home button at all. Again, my name is Douglas Walker. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
For more from the iFocus series, including many other topics of interest to individuals with vision loss, visit the Videos at Hadley page on the Hadley Institute for the Blind and Visually Impaired website at www.hadley.edu.